you're doing great. Welcome back to the Sapphire Spider Oracle channel. If it's your first time, thank you so much for stopping by. It's got me rolling up my sleeves, Virgo. Like, I had my jacket down, it's got me rolling up my sleeves. So, I said, let's get down to business. So, that's the vibe coming in. This is a Virgo full moon that we're doing a reading for. So, Virgos, you might definitely feel the impact of this full moon. And it would not surprise me at all if you was in your feels, or I don't know. It just said, let's get down to business though. So you might actually be in a whole different vibe of like some super organization inside and out. Let's start with your animal oracle card and see what's coming out. What is guiding you right now for this full moon energy in Virgo? Got the caribou. Look at how pretty it is. Ooh, there's little bitty animals inside of it. You're not going to be able to see them all, but there's like an ox and a goose and a ram and a sheep and a bird and some other kind of like elk creature in there. Sorry, I don't know if you can really see all that. It's very, very, very subtle all in here. And that's where, before I even flip this over, it's really kind of going towards an elk, too, an elk. And that's where it's saying that, like, ancestors are often represented through deer or elk symbolism. And so then to have all these spirit animals drawn inside of this caribou figure right here is almost implying, like, all of your ancestors and spirit animals and guides are coming to you in this reading, Virgo. Not a surprise with that full moon, right? And look at that moon. Boom. So, also, it's pointing out, I was saying this in another reading, a lot of the cards I've pulled for this right now have had this white frame around it. And a lot of them have been in a circular shape to represent the moon, but ours is square. And it wants me to point that out because as earth signs, one of the main shapes, like our shape, our sacred geometric shape, is a cube. Is a oh god, what is that? What do they call it? Is it a octahedron? No, it's a hexahedron, right? Sorry, I gotta think about my cube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, hexahedron, which is basically a cube. And that is a very, very solid shape for earth signs in general. The base of a pyramid is shaped like that as well. So that's what I mean. It's like one of the strongest shapes outside of triangles and pyramids. It is the base of that pyramid. It is the four corners. It is what grounds you. And it's saying that 4 is a very big number right now for this pile too. So that's, and definitely I've been resonating with that. So anyway, caribou, cycle of life, rebirth, and abundance. Caribou make long annual migrations and are associated with the cycle of life. The Inuit peoples believe that as the caribou returned to them each season, so did souls return to earth after death, taking the form of either beast or human. In the painting, different animals, including a polar bear, ox, ram, and goose, appear within the body of the caribou. This composite signifies the kinship of all life and recalls the Inuit belief in the universal soul. Look what I just said. I don't know if I've ever read the back of this, but maybe that all just kind of came out of me kind of universally as knowledge. And the big thing I noticed the word here was returned. And that's what it was talking about, souls from the other side, return after death, either in the form of beast or human. It's talking about returns. And again, that ancestors, angel, spirit guides, people returning to you. People returning to you. What's up with the tarot? Six of Swords. Kind of picked up a little bit from my Taurus reading. Was it Taurus? Yeah, it was Taurus. Taurus had this as the first card that came out, which this is really funny, Virgo. My moon sign is Taurus, so there's a little bit of that coming out too. This is definitely talking about the moon, like for sure. then, because that's what I mean. Like, Taurus is my moon sign. This was the card that came out for Taurus. Like, we're connecting to the moons regardless, because it's that Virgo full moon. Lots of movement and decisions being made in the mind. It really is pointing out these fish to me right now. There's 5 blue fish and 2 green fish. Okay. It kind of just brought me a song that I learned in Girl Scouts. It's a Hawaiian luau song. Or, you know, it might be Americanized and whatever. Mixed up. But anyway, I learned it at Girl Scouts, and it was like, oh, we're going to a hooky lounge. Hooky. And, yeah, it just like keeps going. But it made you do, they made you do this little hand symbol for the fish. And that was what it was just doing, which it is Pisces season, and Pisces is our sister sign. And that's why we have the Virgo full moon in Pisces season, because they are on opposite wheels of the zodiac. And it's funny because I was going to say, no, the ship is sailing this way with the fish. So that's where it's saying, okay, so the ship is sailing with the fish. The ship is sailing along with Pisces season is what it feels like. But this is because we got the Virgo full moon. So it's kind of saying how those two things go hand in hand. I always say go check out your sister sign reading, because you might learn something from that. And so that's where and that's the thing, man. I had some powerful stuff. I did my Pisces reading technically last night. I'm doing the Virgo reading now. Some of the messages that came through on the Pisces reading, like, literally showed up today. Like I had to have a moment in my office, and like it was a little bit of a tearful moment, because some messages that came through on that Pisces reading, like those cards were popping off at me earlier today when I was trying to get in here to do these readings. And I didn't get to achieve that when I wanted to earlier, and I got stopped. And when I got stopped, I was starting to get pissed off and kind of like ticked off about it. But everything happens for a reason. And as soon as I like just kind of accepted it, like, y'all, my cards like spoke to me, and they pulled some of the same cards from that Pisces reading. And it was just like, it was eerie. It was eerie. I had like, and I've had some major ascension symptoms in my crown. And I said that in the Capricorn reading, was that like I've had some lightheaded symptoms coming through. Just like moments of vertigo. That's when I know I'm getting crown chakra downloads. That's when I know spirit is coming through to talk to me, and it's important to ground myself. That's what I'm talking about. Ground the base of that pyramid. Ground yourself, because you're receiving downloads. And like, man, that Pisces reading popped off at me today. And that's not even my sign, but we're in that season. And so I'm just saying, like, it's saying that we're going along with Pisces season, so you might want to go check out that reading. But so it's like we're like going with the flow, basically, is kind of what it's saying too. But you're making up your mind on some things, and that's where there's movement and shifting in your mind with this moon. What else? Also, with that Girl Scout and that song, like, that's a very positive, happy song. So trying to, like, it's kind of giving me Dory, like, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Like, you were just trying to keep on. Especially if you're feeling kind of distracted or busy, or like they say that right when they're going down into the dark canyon, right, in the ocean. So it's like, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Like, they're trying to ignore the danger, basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got this. You know us Virgos, we got a very particular setup of things. That's kind of what it's making me do right now. Like, sit here and kind of focus on. Just go ahead and move these up on top of that. Okay, it kind of wants me to start right here. Speak of it, like, and it shall appear. That was one of the cards from that Pisces reading. This Temperance. And that's what I was saying about just keep swimming. It's like you're trying so hard to just stay balanced and keep one foot in the real world, and like take care of the things that are here in front of you that you got to take care of in the real world. Like, I'm working my tail off right now, legit. And at the same time, like, you got to nurture yourself in other ways. And so that's where it's like, you gotta, and also it is a very, that's what I mean. I've got spiritual symptoms, like just the signs coming through right now. And you can get so wrapped up and overwhelmed when you're getting signs. And it's just one of those things, like, they're very powerful messages that are coming through right now at this time. And you can't ignore them, but at the same time, like, you've got to come back to reality and focus on things that are right in front of you, because if you sit there and wonder about all the signs coming to you and all the messages coming to you right now at this moment, like, you will just, like, drown, go under, right? And that's where it's like, stay balanced, stay on some hard floors, and remember that, like, we've got to do what we have to do right now, right this moment, but also keep trucking forward and pay attention to those signs, because Spirit is not, it said Spirit is not lying to you. It said Spirit is not messing with you. It's just like, it's just the way that the universe pieces things together. So you're getting signs about, it sounds like you're getting signs about something in your future, but you're very much like trying to handle some stuff in the real world. And that's where it's like, you're like trying to just keep on swimming, because it feels like you're getting good signs about your future from the universe. And so it's like, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. But it had me mention that dark gorge from Finding Nemo, and they have to go down into that kind of dark space. They have to. And because I think they're looking for that mask with the address on it. I think that's what they're looking for at that time, is like the mask with the address on it that tells them how to get to Sydney. And it had me look it had me just going through the whole address, just like Dory does in the movie, to make sure she remembers it. And it's 42 Wallaby Way, or 42 P. Sherman Wallaby Way, Sydney. And that's the whole thing, is like, that's the address that she has to repeat the whole time, is because she doesn't want to forget it. And I do that with people's phone numbers and stuff sometimes, because I've had times where my phone had to be cleared and I'd lose people's numbers. So that's very much a Virgo detail right there that's coming up, about how you've like memorized phone numbers, memorized addresses, so that you can always find your way back to that, right? And that's what these signs are coming in from the universe. It's like, and you've memorized all the signs, all the dreams, all the signals, everything that's been coming to you, you've memorized it. It's saying like, you don't even have to keep a record anymore, because your mind is the record. And so there's like, there's definitely a lot of movement up there in the head that's coming through right now. I haven't even flipped the rest of these cards, but so the first thing out the gate is like, yes, honey, there's a lot of stuff coming in right now. Just keep swimming, keep yourself balanced, temperance, patience, calm. I flipped this card over and it said charge. So that's what just came out here. And that's because that horse is like rearing up, ready to go. Okay, it wants me to talk about that. So yesterday morning, the whole reason why we have this Egyptian theme is because I was meditating and I had a scene from The Mummy come through. And the scene that came through for me in my meditation was specifically the scene where Evie was busting O'Connell out of prison so that he wouldn't die at that hanging. And she has to negotiate for him to get freed. Now, what this just showed me was the moment where, after he's been freed, and they get all the way there to the desert, and it's right there at dawn, and when the sun comes up, it reveals the magical city that they are waiting on, right? Hamunaptra, City of the Dead. And as soon as that is revealed, that's when they all take off. And it was showing me the British explorer guy with the umbrella, because he's like wah, like up on his horse as it's going to take off. So there is like it's like you're waiting on the sun to rise to reveal some things for you, and once that is revealed, you just know you're going to get to take off and charge, right? And so that's very much where this is. And it's like, and that's why this is a Knight of Swords, because there's a war energy associated with it, but it's not like an angry war energy. It's like charge, like fly in. And that's what they have to do, right? There's the whole bet. They've got to get to the city first to win, and there's very much a competition energy associated with that, and that's what's coming through this card. Like, you got to hightail it there. And I love it because the woman is the one that makes it in there first, and she's the one that's most interested in that city, right? Like, she has the most powerful connection to it, and all these other people are just there for the gold and the money, and she's like, nah man, like this place is spiritual and I love it. And like wants to get in there and learn the mysteries and the secrets. So that's what this is about. Like Spirit's giving you all these signs and you're just like waiting on that sun to come up so you can take off running and go figure out all those mysteries and secrets. But in the meantime, you got to hold it down here on the earth plane. And look at that King of Swords come out under that Knight of Swords. It's almost like running towards this King of Swords. And he's holding the Ankh, which is the key of life. It is the... Wow, Virgo, this reading right here is like tearing it up. I got this song the other day too, which is Frozen from Madonna. And the last line of the chorus is, you are the key. The verse says, give yourself to me, you are the key. And that's what I mean. It's like he's holding the key. This figure is the key. This could very much be you, of course, Virgo, but it could be something you're charging after. And especially, look at this. This is a major arcana. This is not. It's just a court card, but I want you to notice their arms. Like, there's like a grand reveal, it feels like, right here between them. And that's where this King of Swords, I was talking about those downloads, those cosmic downloads, that crown chakra, that higher feeling, that swords energy. Look at this crown, like it's getting downloaded. He's got the feathers. It's almost like these feathers are from her wings. Like, that's what I mean. It's like Spirit from above granted some feathers to this king that he wears on a headdress so that he's always divinely connected through the crown chakra to that sacred energy that is bestowing the knowledge upon you. Look at all the swords energy. This is divine communication and knowledge and intellect coming through, and it is guiding you on your decisions, especially, and you're just waiting on the sun to rise so that you can charge. And with this underneath it, it's like very direct communication. Man, the right side of my heart chakra just started hurting a little bit, and it was just talking about, like, it just gave me another song. There's so many songs for you, Virgo. Glitch Mob, oh god, I can't remember the title of the song, but the verse, I'll put it in my playlist. The shortest distance between 2 points is a line from me to you is the song that came up. It wants me to say I have a playlist here now on this channel. If you just get onto the playlist tab here on my channel, you'll see a playlist for spirit songs, and it's any songs that come up in any of my tarot readings. So as I post these, I will upload those songs too, and just so that if you're interested, you can kind of see those lyrics often speak to me and they're part of the message. So whew, lots of songs coming through. And that's where it's kind of bringing up the point of voices and all these animals and people and spirits around you. Like, there's so many voices speaking to you right now, and you know it. You can hear them. You can sense it. And it is referencing the part in the Mummy where there's like little, you can hear little sounds like the spirits are moving in the city talking to you and stuff. And that's like those ancient voices. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, it just took me back to like 7th grade band class. We actually played a song called Ancient Voices, and it was the most badass song to play as a band student, because we did the thing with the crystal glasses with the water where you wet the edge and go wah, 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 wah. And that was supposed to be the ancient voices. It's talking about crystal clear voices, like you can hear them crystal clear. And buddy, I can, when I'm laying down at night, I can literally hear the voices like whisper to me, and that might sound crazy to some people, but it doesn't happen all the time. But sometimes spirit comes through like crystal clear with the messages. It's telepathy, it's connection, it's that universal life force just talking to you. What's up with this, man? Yo, Virgo, like it's like spirit, like you're hitting me with like 1,000 references right now. You wanted me to like center myself. That's part of the message. It's saying there's a lot of voices talking to you right now, and it's hard to sort through them all. So what it just gave me was, again, it went back to the Mummy. There's so much Egyptian imagery coming through for me right now. It was talking about that chest that gets opened in the movie, and that's what like sets the whole curse off part of the way, is the chest. And so it's like what's inside the chest, so we can read the carvings on the outside of the chest. Now what's inside the chest, and that's your heart space right here. So let's get started. Okay, interesting. It's literally presenting this to me like as if you literally had a suitcase or a box or a chest, and you get to open it up and see what's inside. So like what's inside the chest, almost like what did you bring with you type deal, or right, like what's in there. This Five of Pentacles is usually about, I was gonna say it's a little different in this deck. Wow, that's weird. Five of Pentacles is usually about like being all out in the cold, being separated from spirit and security and wealth and all the things that make you feel safe. It's usually very much about having to struggle a little bit, either financially or just within yourself, like insecurity, right? It's usually a picture of someone being shut outside of a church. This is not the same Five of Pentacles. This Five of Pentacles has someone by like a tree or a bush. So many references coming through right now. Part of it was talking about a burning bush. So that was saying like, it said it to me like this card's a big sign, like a burning bush. Like that's what God speaks through, right? But it also just brought me my old neighbor who's actually passed on. Her name is Joan. I very much associate her with some Joan of Arc energy, who is a prophet who saw visions and led people, and she went to a tree a lot, and that's where she received the visions, and that's where, okay, thank you. Y'all, this is like always going to be a personal reading for me since I'm that Virgo energy with you, but this is very much talking about my own personal journey in spirit, which is that I have struggled a lot because I get signs and visions and communications from spirit that make most people think that I am a Looney Tune, that I am like batshit crazy, and that I always joke to people that, you know, like if I lived however many hundreds of years ago, they would have totally burned me at the stake type deal, because I don't understand everything that happens to me. I don't understand everything that spirit says to me. I was talking about that message that came through from that Pisces reading today for me earlier, and y'all, like, it made me tear up and cry because that message was so swift and powerful. And it's like, sometimes you don't know what to do with the messages that spirit gives you, but they can be super duper clear. And that's how that one came to me today. Like, it was very clear what the message was, and it was hard to accept because I just don't know what to do with it right now. It's like, well, how do I do that? Like, how do I either make those moves or make those decisions? How do I actually execute them, right? How do I actually do that? And that's where this is coming at. So much of this is like Joan of Arc energy of just like going to the trees, speaking to the trees, because that's where you connect with your angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors. I do have a tree. It's an oak tree that I go to, and I always say that, you know, it's just like, it's just my spirit tree. Especially when I'm upset, I go to the tree. Especially, and I've had to do that this week, especially when I'm upset, I go to my tree, and I go sit with my tree, because I'm an earth sign, and I have to ground my root chakra a lot and connect to that, and it always makes me feel better. That's part of this in the chest. It's saying like, you're an earth sign, so no matter what, even if you're low on resources otherwise, you can always come back to Mother Earth and connect with the earth, because you are that earth sign, and like the earth will always speak to you. You got that, it said blessing, it said you got that gift and that blessing of like that Joan of Arc energy of visions, of messages, of signs. And just like how Joan of Arc does get burned at the stake and does get accused of like being a witch and being accused of like all of this really heretical stuff and everything, like the real story of Joan of Arc is she was so devoutly serving spirit that she followed it to the end, right? Oh, just keep swimming, Virgo. Like, yes, Lord. and that's what I mean. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, this stuff has put me on the ground in this position more than once, just because of both tears of joy, tears of not understanding, tears of enlightenment and sharp comprehension, tears of just asking the universe why. Man, like this, like someone in this Virgo pile besides me is going through like some major spiritual freaking journeys, y'all. And like this Eight of Cups, you know that you have to walk away from something. Spirit's been giving you the signs to walk away from something. It's probably been giving it to you for a long time, and that's usually what that Eight of Cups is about. And it's a rebirth energy though too, and so there can be a lot of gratefulness involved with this card, because you know that some things you have to let go of and pour out, send those things down the river so that you can get back to the things that Spirit wants you to have. Eight of Cups can be overflowing energy, but with that overflow, some things leave our lives, and that is very hard to deal with. Even though you receive many blessings in return and you are grateful for all of that beautiful wisdom and stuff that in these blessings that come to you, like, it is not an easy journey. It is not easy. And that's where with this Knight of Swords, I always associate Knight of Swords energy with that Joan of Arc vibes. And I've had a reading like that before here for this channel, for Virgo specifically, but like, it is really coming through right now. Like, you've been through so much, and it's like you really know who you are though, and you've really risen up, and you are no longer on the ground freaking out over these signs and everything. Not really. It's like you go to that tree when you need it, whether you were just kind of chilling or like really down on your knees. Like, you go to that spirit tree, you go to that spirit family, and you pray and you talk and you receive the signs, and you don't know what to do with it all. And it sounds like you finally might get to do something with it here soon. And that's where it's just like charged. Like, once that sun rises and you finally see everything come into fruition, just charge. With this heartbreak card here, I want you to notice how all these people are down on the ground. I said this cut you down before. Something just grabbed my right calf, like squeezed it. And I said, you don't even know. There's a lot of Swords energy in here for you too, Virgo. A lot of stuff in the head. A lot of stuff with communications. This came out for Pisces too. I was talking about how the back of the head in that reading stores trauma. I'm not going to go into that full explanation right here again, because it's not what it wants to do, but when I was saying the chest, remember that's your heart space. I said, what is in the chest? What is in your chest? There's some really beautiful energy that just came through in all this message, but what else is in your chest? There's some heartbreak and some pain, some loss of identity. It just said, like, how low can you go? And it said, you have no idea. Like, you don't know how low some people go. And it's kind of giving it to me like some limbo too. Like, someone's been stuck in limbo for a really long time. There's a lot of emotion trying to come out right here. And that's what I mean. Like you don't know how low some people can go. And it's not saying that in a way that's like about pain. It's saying it very much in a way of strength, of like being on your knees praying. Of like, it's so emotional, Virgo. it's just showing me how people pray and how sometimes they'll lay their hand, like their arms all the way out to pray, you know, like you're just prostrate on the ground. Damn it, this is that full moon in Virgo energy. And that's when you have to, like, lighten up and kind of like laugh it off, because yeah, that's exactly what this full moon in Virgo is about. Let's do this last one. I just said this king sent this messenger out to go get this girl right here. And when I flipped this card over, it said, "I got you, girl," or like, "I got you, babe," or something like that. This figure that you are like so eager to charge for, which this can definitely just be like your own intellectual security and decision making. That can be a King of Swords energy, but like, so, and that could be like a final decision too, very much your final decision, this final decision that you're heading towards, or this person or this situation that you're heading towards has felt all of this. This is a very long reading for you, Virgo. Has felt all of this and is sending out a messenger to come talk to you. And something just squeezed my right calf again. Is sending out this messenger. Sorry, Virgo. So I was gonna say, I had just finished saying that this was a very long reading for you guys, and then my phone actually like the storage got full and it cut me off, so I am gonna wrap this up. I was just saying how like this person was looking back at this king like, "Are you sure this is the message? Are you sure I need to go over here? Like, are you sure?" And this person's like, "Yes," because this king has made that final decision, where the knave is still learning how to make decisions. The king knows what decision it wants to make. It has made that decision. Don't look back, because just execute that decision, right? Like, just go through with whatever the decision is. And so how interesting that Spirit's like, this king, this figure received the message, made the decision, sending the messenger out with legit scrolls, with legit messages, with real letters and words, and like a proclamation or a message to go get this person. And that's where this is also showing the way. Like, please, like, almost in just a sense of just guidance. Like, look at, that's what I mean. This is very much a reveal. And this king's hands were very much a reveal. What's happening? This person, this figure, this pain, this hurt. There's a messenger coming in, and it's got, and this is what I mean, the scrolls there, it's not like just another spirit message coming through like a download. Like, this is like communication. And it feels like that's what you need, honestly, because it's like you've been swimming around out here a very long time. And that's what we're saying, like, you don't know how low this person or you have gotten before, because you were just praying and praying and praying and praying and praying and praying, and it's like you finally get to maybe charge towards what you want. And I feel like that, no, even if it's not a person, there's a final decision you're charging towards, and it feels like the universe has, like, you reached that decision, and it's sending out the messenger to come and collect you away from this energy on the bottom of the deck. Whew. That Five of Swords energy, so much sword energy right now. And you might have to really step up and stand your ground and fight for it, is what it's saying too. And it's kind of saying, if you want the upper hand, you might have to fight for it. Are you going to be this person anymore that's bending down low and kissing feet? Look at you. No. Please get up. Please get up, Virgo. Please get up. Stop sitting on the ground all the time and being upset in that way and doing things like that. You've been low for far too long, and it's time to stand up, and it's time for you to be this person. Take those 3 swords that are hurting you, pick those bitches up and hurt somebody else with it. It's kind of, it's like, it's not an encouragement for you to hurt people, Virgo. It's just saying, like, you got to get the upper hand. You got to stop being in this position, and you got to start being in this position. And that's a weird thing with this Five of Swords, because usually when we pull this, we're getting hurt. And this time it doesn't want you to get hurt anymore. Your ancestors and your spirit guides are tired of you getting hurt. It's time for you to stand up and take these. And it wants to cuss so bad. It's like, take these fucking swords and like do what you need to do with them. And it wants me to just say as a final note that, ooh, it was 3:11 when I looked on the clock right there, because I just restarted the recording, right? It was just saying how, like, your ancestors want you to pick this stuff up and use it because they're tired of seeing you get down on the ground and hurt too. And you've been given beautiful blessings, Virgo, and you need to recognize that about yourself. And that is what your Virgo full moon reading is about, baby. Stand up, take the sword. Take all 3 swords. Ooh, it just gave me Electra from Daredevil, because she's got the little tridents, which is that Pisces energy. I'm telling you, Virgo, what a reading, dude. Sorry it was so long. It tried to cut me off. I'm gonna cut myself off now. There was a lot in here, but it was all about that. It's that Virgo full moon. Please take care of yourself. And it's now time for me to go take care of myself. Y'all have a wonderful evening. I'll catch y'all on the next reading. Thank you.